This weekend project starts with these wood crates you can get from the store. Also, I'm going to grab a pallet, but let's head back to the crate. I'm going to grab some dark gel stain and I'm going to put this all over the crate. This wood likes to soak it up, and I do like to use a towel. I'm going to use this towel to go up and down and get every groove. Once that's drying, I'm going to go back out to the crate and I'm going to start using my skill saw to cut all of the slats. Once I get all of these cut, I want to gather them all. Using a round template from a bottle, I can use that to mark the top and get a round cut. I only need to do this on the top, and I use my jigsaw for it. Once I do that, then I need to actually cut them down to 16 inches long. I need to taper the sides, which means it's a little thicker on the top than it is on the bottom. Using a level for a straight edge, I'll do that. And then over to my bandsaw, I will start cutting the taper. Starting at the bottom, work my way up, being very careful as I get to the top. And I'm going to do this to both sides, which will give me a perfect taper. A little bit of sanding also is needed. The next thing is I got 2 of these scrap boards that come from the pallet, and I'm going to tape them together. The reason we do this is we want 2 boards cut, but I want them to mirror each other and be exactly the same. So putting the tape on, I can draw exactly over the tape the design that I want to cut out. As you can see here, I'm cutting a little bit of some intricate designs, but no problem. Once I get back over to the bandsaw and I cut these, I cut along the line and I get exactly what I need. I'm also going to cut out a few more scraps and I'll show you those later. Now, back to those slats that I cut with the rounded top and the tapered end, I'm going to lay every single one of those out. And then I'm going to start painting from the bottom using a yellow color. Now, you can see that the wood is really starting to soak it in, so 2 or 3 coats will be needed. Then I'm going to go orange, starting near the yellow and working my way up to the top. As you notice, I left the top bare because I'm putting some red in there. You can see the blend from yellow, orange to red, and I'm going to make sure I get the sides also. Once those are drying and got all dried up, I'm going to then take the crate that has dried from the stain and I'm going to put that first colored slat on there. Using glue, I'm going to put that down and then use some brad nails to hold it in place. The secret is the glue. As you can see, I'm putting some gaps in there between these. I'm going to also work from the front, and to each side, I'm going to put 5 on the bottom layer. Now it's time to go to the next layer. Running some glue right down the sides, I'm going to put the next picket on there, but this one's going to be just a little bit taller and it's going to fill in the gap. I'm going to use a little bit smaller brad nails and make sure I secure those until the glue is able to dry. Once I do that, it's back over to those mirrored pieces that I colored also, and I'm going to put those on the side of the crate. And then I'm going to use brad nails to hold this in place, and then look at this. This is also made from the pallet, and little pieces that are painted. I'm going to give it a little bit of an eye right there to give it some character. And then I'm going to put some floral foam in the bottom. Hot glue down first, and then I'm going to put it in place and hold it down. Absolutely love how this fall decor turned out. And it's made from flowers that I can keep outside. I love how it turned out. It's really a pleasant sight to see as people walk up to your front porch and you get to brag that you made it from scratch.
Have you ever wondered what fun project you can make from this crates from your local craft store? I've got a great idea for you. You can grab any size and let's get started. You're going to take some blue painter's tape and tape up the middle section of the crate all the way around. Then grab a color of choice. I'm going to use this nice apple red and I'm going to paint the whole crate. Now I've got this 1-inch wide piece of wood. I'm going to paint it blue. I'm going to cut about the top 4 inches off of this wood piece. You're going to go ahead and get that 36-inch dowel rod and measure it out to 12-inch lengths and go ahead and cut it. We have these wood slices. We've got 4 of them, and we're going to drill a hole into the center of each one. You'll add a little wood glue to the end of each dowel rod and fit it into each of those wheels. Once it's dry, we're taking some white paint and we're just going to paint the dowels, even though we won't really be able to see those, and the wood slices as well as the wheels. We're coming back to our wood piece here where we've also added a little wood glue. While you still have the wood glue and your crate is dry, apply a little wood glue to the bottom of the crate as a way to attach those dowel rods. You can certainly use something more sturdy, but this actually worked really well. We're going to screw our handle in place using a 1-inch hinge, and then you're ready to go. Place your little wagon in a flower bed or on your porch and fill it up with white or red, blue florals to really bring it all together. And there you go.
To start this project, you're going to need some wood crates. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start painting each of the wood slats with the orange paint. Now it's up to you how many coats you wanna put on this project. So it's really, that part is a matter of personal preference. Now, one thing to note while you are doing this is that you will want to get these in-between areas as well, and you'll probably want to get the slats on the inside here. So we're going to go ahead and make sure to not only do the tops, but the insides of these slats as well. So here's the first side all the way done, and I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and we're going to work on a different side for a moment. So I've sat it up, and this is one of the sides, and we're going to go ahead and paint this side now. For the second crate, I'm going to take some painter's tape just to be my guide, and I'm going to run it across like so. So I'm using the same paint on this one, and I'm just going to go ahead and get up to that line, and I'm going to paint this whole top half here with the paint, and then I'm also going to make sure to once again get in between in here. So once again, this is a nice acrylic paint that's water-based. One of the reasons I love to use it. And I'm just gonna paint all the slats with this yellow color. And again, if you don't want yellow for this project, you could pick a different color if you like. It's really up to you. Now I'm gonna take the tape and peel it off. And then I'm going to let this dry completely. Now for this one, I'll just go ahead and paint the entire thing with the green paint. And again, making sure to get these in-between parts here. So I have this little wood blank from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and paint that with the Apple Barrel Pumpkin Orange. Next, I just have a stick here that I got from the yard, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stick it into the handle like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a long piece of jute or twine. I'm going to cut it off. And I'm going to tie it around. And then I want the ribbon to kind of hang off the front. Now, if you want more ribbon or you want to use raffia or a different product, that would be absolutely fine. Next, I just got some faux leaves. I'm just gonna add a little hot glue in here and then stick the leaves to the glue. So I've got some hook and loop fastener here, and I'm just going to attach the two sides together like so. And then I'm gonna go ahead and measure out the length that I need like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Now that I have the length I need, I'm gonna peel the back off and then place it onto the crate, making sure that I've got it nice and straight. And then I'm gonna go ahead and press firmly on it to get it to be adhere. So I've attached the first strip, and I'm gonna go ahead and peel off the backing, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that other board that I have, and I'm gonna place it on top and adhere it. So next we're gonna start by mapping out where we want some embellishments. So we're gonna add a flower. I'm gonna add a couple of buttons, and then I've cut out of a other leaf, I'm cutting out a little nose, and then I'm gonna draw on mouth so I know exactly where I kind of want this rough mouth to go. And then we're gonna work on gluing it all together and putting it all together. So the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of map out the face and hair like so, just so I get a start on it. So I'm gonna go in with the white paint, and I don't have to be too worried about perfect lines. My black marker will help me with clarifying some of that, but I'm gonna get as close to them as I can and draw in the eyes with the paint. Next, I'm gonna go up to the top and I'm just gonna paint the hair black. So when I get down to these details, I'll just come in as close as I can. That was the great part about the marker, is that it can help me get in closer without having to worry about it. Now that they're all done, let's go get them on display.